Have you ever heard about utilitarianism? A moral theory that evaluates morality based on the consequence and maximizes the greatest good for the greatest number of people. It was founded by two British philosophers, economists, and political thinkers, Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill. This theory has a significant impact in the field of economy, social, and political policy. Utilitarianism is the greatest happiness principle. He proposed that humans are ruled by two masters, pain and pleasure. Humans search for happiness or pleasure in avoidance of pain. Hence, these two masters rule us in the way that we act, speak, and think. But this moral theory is criticized according to the following. First, too much pursuit of pleasures and too egalitarian. Second, that, in his view, human pleasures were of no more value than animal pleasures, treating the moral status of animals as the same as humans. Thus, John Stuart Mill made changes and expanded the theory. He differentiated the qualitative differences in happiness, such as the intellectual and bodily pleasure. There are two types of utilitarianism. Act utilitarianism. It is focused on the single action consequence. An act is morally right if it produces the best possible outcome or consequence in a specific situation. Rule utilitarianism focuses on the consequence of adhering to the rules, an act that obeys the rules for the greatest good. Principles of utilitarianism. Happiness is the only thing that has intrinsic value. This means that something is good in itself. Actions that promote happiness are right, and actions that promote unhappiness are wrong. Everyone's happiness counts equally. Actions are only justified if they have a clear effect on the welfare of the people involved. Elements of utilitarianism. Impartiality. It promotes equality generally to sentient beings where the value and count of an individual's happiness is viewed equally. Consequentialism. The consequences of any action, decision, or conduct are solely the standard of right and wrong. Welfarism. It is the perspective that the value of an outcome is determined entirely by the well-being of the individuals in it. Aggregationism. The view that the value of an outcome is given by the sum value of the lives it contains. Application in IT, design and development technology. This is where creating software and systems or new technology takes place, maximizing user satisfaction through creating ethical design by providing a user-friendly user interface and user experience. Hence, prevents ethical issues like accessibility, usability of digital products by people with varieties of skill sets and abilities. Data privacy, securing user information by executing authentication to prevent being accessed by unauthorized users. Transparency involves openness and willingness to convey information, either positive or negative, with all relevant parties. And inclusivity, being respectful towards various cultures and communities, as well as avoiding stereotypes. Strengths of utilitarianism. Maximizes user satisfaction, maximizes overall happiness, and minimizes frustration for the users. Foster fairness. Ethical design under utilitarianism considers diverse user needs, creating solutions that cater various demographics, including those in underserved communities. Promotes transparency and trust. Secured user information in prevention to be accessed by an authorized user, and transparency in information for the sake of numerous users across the globe. Limitations. Predicting consequence. Uncertainty whether the software and system won't have issues or bugs when used or as time goes by. Unintended barriers. Developers sometimes focus on features that benefit the majority, which unintentionally leads to bias and discrimination in specific groups. Conflicts. Short-term gain and long-term loss. This occurs when decisions or actions that benefit people right now may cause problems or lead to ethical dilemmas and potential harm to society in the future. Privacy and utility. This occurs when making things better for the system and collecting valuable information to improve services. Majority versus minority. Utilitarianism favors the greatest good for the greatest number of people, which might challenge the rights and well-being of the minority. In conclusion, The application of utilitarianism in the design and development of technology, particularly in ethical design, is significantly helpful in maintaining and ensuring user satisfaction. However, it inevitably disregards some aspects like the interest of the minority in unintended barriers that hinder users to access the system. Therefore, every action should consider the welfare of not just the greatest number of people, but all, while maximizing the happiness of everybody, not just the majority.